Okay, so as you can see, most of my sunflowers are pretty much spent at the moment. They've provided me with a heap of beauty, but I'm still keeping them in the ground because I actually want to harvest the seeds. Now, I know that there are probably plenty of different ways that you can harvest seeds, but I'm going to show you how I do it because it works for me. So let's go. Now, as you can see with this head here, it's still got some of the flower bits. I don't know what the technical term for that is, but it's still got them on. So the first thing I like to do is I like to come along and I like to take all of that off, right? So I take all of that off. And the reason I'm doing that is because it just allows the seeds to dry out a little bit more. Now this one here, I've had these off for a little while, and this is ready to go. Now this is just where, you know, experimenting and just doing things and them not working out comes in when it comes to gardening. Now I've let them dry out on the actual stalk, and then I found that when I've gone to harvest them, the insides weren't there. It was complete. They were sort of disintegrated, so to speak. Another problem that you might have is you might have birds that just come along and eat them all. So I've also tried hanging my heads upside down, and that didn't really work for me either. So what I've found is I will take off those bits that I just explained then. I'll let it dry out for a couple of days, but I don't let the seeds completely dry out. I'm going to now liberate all of those seeds out of that head, and then I'm going to dry them in boxes with newspaper, lined with newspaper, and I'm going to put all the seeds there and I'm going to let them dry out that way, and that's how I've found that it works for me. Also too, I forgot to mention another thing to just have a look for is the size of the seed, okay? Because even though the flowers are actually spent, or the petals I should say, the seeds will still continue to grow and to expand, and you usually find that the ones on the outside will expand and grow, leaving, and then the ones in the middle will sort of grow last. And sometimes when the outer ones are, you know, fully big and fat, I'll harvest those, but I might not harvest the ones in the center because they're small and they're not very well formed, so they don't make great seeds to use later. It doesn't mean you can't use them. I'm just saying that I want to pick the biggest and the best seeds, so I don't always harvest every single seed on a sunflower head, and I'll just show you what I mean here. See, these ones up here on the outside are like really big and fat, but then when we get into the center, they're a bit smaller, they're a bit compact. And look, those seeds will probably still, you know, grow a great sunflower, but for me, there's plenty of seeds to choose from, right? So I'm just going to choose the biggest and the best in order to plant from next year. So then I just let them dry out in a cardboard box with some newspaper, and when they're completely sort of dried out, I'll store them in snap lock bags ready for next year.